Well, good afternoon everybody, it's Richard here, and it's Sunday the 25th of April, and it's an absolute glorious day today, and we had some really lovely hot weather yesterday here in the United Kingdom. And first of all, before I forget, I'd like to wish all my friends and colleagues a very successful run at the London Marathon 2010, the Virgin London Marathon this year, and I hope you've all done well, and I hope you've all finished, and I hope you have all finished in a good time. And no doubt if you have finished, my sponsorship money will be on its way to you, raising money for good causes, particularly Matt Baker, who's running for the Not Forgotten Association, a ex-service charity supporting the ex-service forces community here in the United Kingdom and been going since 1919, and also David Jessup, who is supporting the Royal British Legion, again been in existence since 1925. So I wish you all the very best, and I hope everything has gone well for you. So that's a bit of a plug really for colleagues and also friends who are running for various other charities around the country, and up in London today at Blackheath. And the weather's been very kind to you. I know as a runner that certainly I would have appreciated the coolness of the day, and so I thought I'd just make a mention there. Now today I thought I'd show you something, I always say this, a little different, but it is a bit different I suppose today, because I was looking for a test amplifier on eBay, and that I could use in the workshop here, so I don't have to keep using my equipment I generally use for in the house and having to disconnect and reconnect it. And so I've come up with the idea I'll have this amplifier in the background that I can use to do that. And also at the same time I was looking for a Garrard record player, SP25 Mark II, which of course, as some of you know, is one of the best players there are around, and lo and behold I managed to find one. In fact, I managed to find one from the same buyer that I bought the amplifier from, which was a good idea. So one of my tips for you is to always look on the seller's other items when you're clicking on various bits on eBay. And so this has come from the chap in Southampton who was having a clear out, he said, after 30 years of being a bit of a magpie, and I have to say I was quite successful in getting it at a very low price. I think the record player only cost me, the deck was only £1.19, I think the amp is only about 16 quid altogether. Okay, I had to pay postage on top of that, but it still works out in extremely good value. Now, I thought I'd show you the amplifier this afternoon because it's one of those wonderful bits of kit. It's a Trio amplifier, and Trio are part of Kenwood. Now, some of you may know that, some of you may not know that, but this one dates from the 1970s, and so it's quite a nice piece of kit, and I thought I'd show you around that today. So let's do that first of all. I'm going to have to remove Mr. Panasonic from his perch again, and that always creates a bit of an interest, because I almost do a shot of me too close up. Let's just go, there we go, that's better, isn't it? Just bear with me a minute, and I'm just going to turn the screen around here. There we go. Right, well here we go. This is the Trio model KA-1500 Mark II. Now, it's much better looking than it actually was in the photograph on eBay, and as you can see, it's got this very sturdy design. This is a metal case. I've actually measured there's about nearly 2 mils there, 2 mils of steel, and this front cover comes off, so I've actually taken all of this off so that I could actually clean it. Like most amplifiers, because you've got the vents in the top to allow heat to escape, all the dust and muck tends to go down inside the amplifier. So I'm just going to remove this now so you can see. So where are we? There we go. If I take that case top off, I'm just going to put that down somewhere behind me. Hold on a second, there we go, right. So, now, it was absolutely caked in dust, and let's put a bit more light on there. But you can see it's cleaned up quite well. And one of the rules I always do is check the electrics before I even plug anything in, because you never know where these things have been hanging about. This one probably been hanging around somewhere where it's been very dusty. The record player, I think, which I haven't shown you yet, which I'll do next time, is probably around in a loft or somewhere, because it's even the plug was filthy dirty, let alone the cable and what's inside it. However, these amplifiers, these are Kenwood and Trio. Trio started off in 1946 from Japan, Japanese make. Started off as a company. They were very successful in producing FM radio sets straight after the war, when Japan, as you know, had been flattened by two horrendous atomic bombs, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And they needed to get the economy back on their feet. And then they later on combined with Kenwood. Now Kenwood, I've got a Kenwood app, it's a really good piece of kit. So they called it Trio-Kenwood, but I can't quite understand the connection here, and somebody may know the answer to this. This is marketed under Trio, and Trio-Kenwood, of course, were an international company towards the end of their time, and so they were all over France, Germany, Belgium, you name it, Austria, and United States. So whether they were marketing different parts of the company in different parts of the world, I'm not sure. But all I do know is that this is a really chunky bit of kit. I've cleaned up these knobs here. These were quite ground in a bit of dirt. I always find it amusing that somebody else's DNA is probably lurking about, so I always give these a bit of a clean before. But it really looks good. It's a really nice bit of kit here. It's got a massive, great mains transformer in the back there, and a couple of nice capacitors there. And in the front part you've got this screen, this heat screen of course, but it's screened from the front to the back. This is no cheap deal, this is real good construction. And then the electronics parts, you've got the pre-amplifier over this side. You can probably see that here, this bit's over here for the phono part of it, and then the rest of it of course is for the other various bits as well. So in the surge protection there you've got on there, and obviously those capacitors, and also the transistors are on the back wall there as heat sink. There's a heat sink here to get rid of some of the, dissipate the heat there. So good bit of kit now. Now what I've done is, just to showcase this, I've actually linked it up with a 1984 Sony compact disc player. This disc player would have been one of the very first produced by Sony, and funny enough, it turned up in a book I've got on the history of recording as one of the first machines, and I thought, oh, that's the one I've got, especially this particular model. This again was a donation, and this is the compact disc player CDP M48, this one. So, and it does do quite well. It actually is a bit like Arkwright, which is a television program, comedy program that was actually over here in the United Kingdom. Ronnie Barker starred in that the drawer is like his till. It likes to close up pretty quickly without actually allowing you to put the CD in, which is a bit of fun. So, but I thought I'd showcase that this afternoon. This amplifier, what I've done, I've linked it up with some of my Jamro speakers, one there, and unfortunately I've only got one of the smaller ones, so I've used a small PA Tannoy speaker there, which is okay for the right hand channel, and will give you an idea of what this is like. So we've got, just going round the actual amplifier itself, we've got inputs for tape A and tape B. Tape A is actually accessed through the rear of the amplifier. Tape B is through this DIN socket at the front here. I don't know whether you can see that or not. And then you've got this big selector here. You've got the selector, input selector for tuner, phono and auxiliary. And I've obviously, because it's a CD player, I've passed that through auxiliary, though I have tested out with the input, we're using the CD player, the other areas, and they all seem to be working quite well. Okay, well, time's run out, so we'll have to do part 2. See you in a moment.